In the 3rd century, the two largest empires on Earth collapsed almost simultaneously. One was Rome, the other was the Han Dynasty. Their fragments scattered across the map, but what happened next could not have been more different. Rome's pieces became France, Germany, Italy, Spain, and never came back together. China's pieces came back together every single time. Not once, 5 times across 2,000 years. The Han fell, the 3 kingdoms tore each other apart, and the Qin dynasty reunified the land. The Qin collapsed. North and South split for nearly 400 years, and the Sui dynasty reunified. The Tang disintegrated. 5 dynasties and 10 kingdoms rose and fell in rapid succession, and the Song dynasty reunified. The Mongols crushed the Song, then the Ming drove the Mongols back to the steppe and rebuilt a Chinese empire from scratch. Every division looked permanent. Every reunification looked impossible. And yet, it kept happening. Europeans were not lacking in ambition either. Charlemagne tried, the Holy Roman Empire tried, Napoleon tried. All failed. It was not for want of desire, it was for want of ability. So what made China different? The 2 most common explanations are culture and geography. Chinese culture values unity, the argument goes, so China always reunifies. But preference does not equal outcome. Europeans revered the legacy of Rome for 1,000 years. The very title Roman Empire survived in European politics long after the empire itself was dust, and it changed nothing. Others say China is geographically destined to be one country, but the Yangtze River, the Qinling Mountains, and the Taihang Range carve China into distinct blocks. The differences between North and South in language, cuisine, and climate are no smaller than those between France and Germany. Culture cannot explain it. Geography cannot explain it. The real answer is buried in 221 BC. That year, the First Emperor of Qin destroyed the last rival state. But what he did next mattered infinitely more than the conquest itself. He dismantled the very foundations on which those 6 states had existed. Every local aristocrat's hereditary power was abolished and replaced by centrally appointed bureaucrats. 6 different writing systems were merged into one, so that administration from south to north ran on a single written language. Weights, measures, currencies, and even axle widths were standardized. The entire country was carved into commanderies and counties, each governed by an identical administrative structure. This was not conquest, this was reformatting. The first emperor did not merely unify China, he installed an operating system. One detail captures his intent more vividly than any policy decree. After unification, bronze weapons from across the former kingdoms were confiscated, shipped to the capital Xianyang, and melted down into 12 colossal bronze statues erected before the imperial palace. This was not disarmament. This was the physical destruction of the infrastructure of independence. A general might still harbor ambition, but his region had no independent administration, no independent script, no independent currency. He simply lacked the building blocks to construct a separate state. What if Rome had done the same thing? Abolished every tribal chief, forced Latin as the sole written language, destroyed all records in local tongues. Perhaps Europe today would be one country, but Rome never did. Rome ruled through local elites, preserving regional laws, languages, and identities. So when Rome fell, every fragment had the capacity to function on its own. China's fragments did not. The Qin dynasty itself lasted only 15 years before it was overthrown. But the system did not die with it. The Han dynasty inherited it. Every dynasty after that inherited it. The most astonishing proof came in 589 AD when Emperor Wen of the Sui dynasty marched south to reunify the country. By then, China had been divided for nearly 400 years. longer than the Roman Empire had existed in its unified form. By European logic, 4 centuries of separation should have made the split permanent. But when Emperor Wen entered the south, he found the commandery and county system still intact, the civil bureaucracy still functioning, the unified script still in use. He did not need to build a governing apparatus from nothing. He just needed to reboot the operating system that the First Emperor of Qin had installed 800 years earlier. This is the true power of what Qin created. It did not belong to any single dynasty. Dynasties rose and fell, but the system outlasted them all. Anyone with sufficient military force could restart it on the ruins of the previous regime. The cost of reunification was therefore dramatically lower than in Europe. In Europe, unification meant dismantling each kingdom's separate legal code, language, and aristocratic hierarchy one by one, a cost so staggering that no one could afford it. In China, you won the war, and the system came back online by itself. This institutional invention had one more consequence, deeper than any administrative structure. It redefined what legitimacy meant. In the political culture that took shape after Qin, only ruling all under heaven counted as orthodoxy. A regime that controlled merely half the territory was labeled a partial settlement, a term that carried an inherent stain of illegitimacy. During every period of division, no ambitious leader was content to remain a comfortable regional king. The goal had to be the whole world, or else he would forever be cast as a temporary placeholder in the political narrative. Because everyone believed that unity was the only legitimate condition, someone was always willing to wage war for it, and no divided regime could ever settle into permanent stability. Europe evolved in precisely the opposite direction. After Rome, the sources of legitimacy multiplied. Bloodlines, papal coronation, local tradition. A king could rule only France and be entirely legitimate. No one expected him to reunify Europe, so no one seriously attempted it. China's unity was never the product of peace. Every reunification was purchased with a massive war. The system the first emperor installed functions like a gravitational force, powerful enough that the fragments can never drift apart forever, but ensuring that the process of pulling them back is always a violent collision. 2,000 years of unity is also 2,000 years of wars for unity. Whether this is a gift or a curse may depend on which second of history you happen to be standing in.